be back out here and getting ready for a bowl game?
It's great, considering that we didn't go to one last year. I'm excited. We're going to Arizona. It's a nice venue. We'll be in Phoenix, so I'm excited. I'm happy.
Have you ever played a football game in a baseball stadium before?
Not that I can recall. Maybe something like Pop Warner
Okay.
or something like that, but anything college or high school, I don't think so.
You've had two 200-yard games in a row. First time any UCLA receiver has done that. How special has it been to come back and play as well as you have?
It's been really special, but it's also been a real gut check too, because obviously I look at the games that I played and I played really good, and I'm happy for that, and my family's excited for me, and they're proud of me for the games that I did really well in. But it was a gut check for me because I sit back and I look at the end of the season. I was gone for 4 games, and I see what I could have done. So it was. I mean, I'm happy for myself. I'm proud of myself, but I also take it with a little bit of a grain of salt too. So.
What did you think of Coach Kelly being hired as a new coach here?
I mean, I think it's a good move for the school. UCLA's trying to move towards winning games. So. Obviously, I think Chip Kelly's maybe 43-7 or 46-7 at Oregon. So I mean, that's a pretty good ratio of wins to losses. So I think it's a good hire, considering the numbers that he did at Oregon, with all the great players that he had, and I think it's a good good thing for recruiting too. So.
Did you watch Chip's offense a lot growing up? A lot of Oregon games on TV and stuff like that?
Yeah, I did, because I was a big Black Mamba fan. So when DeAnthony Thomas went there. That was amazing to me. So,
how will his being hired impact your decision on whether to come back next year?
It would impact it a lot. I actually haven't really sat down and thought about it and deciphered everything and made a pros and cons list or anything like that. Just because we've had finals and trying to win games, trying to get ready for the bowl game. It's just been everybody's just been scrambling around here, so it's been a little busy. So yeah, it would have a lot to do with it. I would have to sit down with him and see what his plans for the team and all of that stuff. So it would definitely have a lot to do with it.
When you make that decision, what will it be like? Who will you kind of go to for counsel, and when would you look to make that decision?
I would go to the people I trust. Obviously, my parents, my coaches, former coaches as well. People that have helped me little by little on the way, and people that I confide in, and people that I trust their words and trust their advice. As far as when I'll make a decision, I don't really have a timetable for that. I'm just trying to win this game against Kansas State and do what I have to do to help my team win this game. So I don't have a set date for anything like that.
Would you talk to some of your other teammates who are also kind of going through that same situation? Obviously, you guys have a few redshirt juniors, true juniors who could go.
Well, obviously, me and Josh talked about it because, he's my quarterback. He's one of my best friends. So we've talked about it. He's kind of scrambling a little bit around with it too. So yeah.
I don't know if you saw the stat, but Pro Football Focus said you had the most yards per route run this season.
I don't really understand what exactly that is.
So they track how many routes you run, or how many snaps you're in, and how many you're en route for, and then they divide it by, the yards that you gained divided by the number of routes you had. And you had, I think, 3.33, so that led all Pac-12 receivers.
Okay.
What do you think of that stat, and how do you think you got to that point? Is it better route running, more speed this year?
I think that's amazing. Considering that I'm running with 3 yards a route, that's at least something. I think we know that I can do something with the ball in my hand. But I don't even think it was a certain focus on speed or anything like that. I think it was just more of a mental focus. I came into this year with a plan, with what I wanted to do and what I wanted to show and what I wanted to prove to people. So I think it's a testament to to the plan that my coaches and I set. Me, Coach Fish, Coach Doherty, we all set these mini goals for myself, and it ended up resulting in me being in this position. So I have all the credit in the world to Coach Fish and Coach Doherty.
What did it mean? What did it mean to be named the offensive MVP of this team?
Everything. I'm not sure if any of you guys were at the banquet, but I got a little bit emotional, and my teammates don't really see me emotional like that. So, man, that was everything. I was so happy to receive that award. I've been here for 4 years. I've seen guys like Eric Kendricks and guys like Jordan Payton and those guys like that win those type of awards. So at that time, watching them win those awards, it was kind of hard for me to fathom me winning that, that award, and then plus me given all the things that happened through this season. It was really an unexpected award, and I really thank my teammates and my coaches for that. That made me feel really good.
Who votes on that? Like, your teammates vote on that, or coaches choose?
Well, I'm not sure who has anything to do with it, but I just thank them anyway because they helped me along the way.
You guys didn't go to a bowl game last year. Does that make this experience maybe a little bit sweeter because you didn't get it and now you got it?
Yeah, it's definitely special, especially from going to 2 bowl games 2 years in a row straight. Then you come back a year after that and have a really disappointing season, and you don't get what you want, or you don't have a bowl game. It's definitely a gut check, and I came into this year, and that was one of my goals, to be playing during postseason. I didn't know where we would be as far as which bowl game we would be playing in, but I did know that I wanted to keep playing in December. So that was definitely a big focus for me, and I'm very more than excited to play against Kansas State.
How did you spend last December? Like, you were at home when you were feeling you should have been at practice. Last December, it was cold, real cold December. Pockets were a little bit more tight. Like, did you watch the other games?
No.
Or, no. Okay.
I didn't. At least I didn't try to. I watched the BCS games, obviously, the national championships and the Fiestas and the Orange Bowls and stuff like that. So I watched all the bigger games, but the games all leading up, I didn't. I tried to stay away from those.
Is it hard to kind of tune out the noise of Jordan Lasley, 200 yards in
right.
2 games in a row now? He's like this huge NFL guy, prospect. Is that hard to tune that out and not let it get to your head and get excited about that?
I'll be honest, it is hard to tune it out because it's been a dream of mine since I was 4 or 5 or 6 years old. Ever since I was a little kid, I always knew I wanted to play football, on the national stage and in the NFL. I grew up watching, Terrell Owens and Chad Ochocinco and guys like that, guys that affected the game positively and negatively. I was learning lessons from them as a young buck. So it is hard to tune out, but I think I'm doing a good job. I think I'm doing a good job of tuning it out, considering the fact that I know what I could have done this season. So I kind of take it with a grain of salt, like I said earlier.
Awesome.